Okay, good morning one and all. This is Samantharmani Kuchbatla, Associate Professor of Department AAA, AS Engineering College. In the previous session, we have discussed about the magnetization or OCC characteristics of the DC generator. Today, in this class, I am going to explain about the brake test on a DC shunt motor. In this DC shunt motor, the aim of the experiment is we need to obtain the performance characteristics of the DC shunt motor. Before going to the actual circuit diagram, I would like to explain you what are the different apparatus that are required. We need a 0 to 20 amperes MC ammeter and a 0 to 300 volts MC voltmeter. MC means moving coil. Because we are performing experiment on a DC supply DC shunt motor, we are making use of moving coil type instrument. And next we need a rheostat which has to be kept in the field resistance circuit, and that value is 370 ohms by 1.7 amperes. And we need a digital tachometer to measure the speed of the motor. So coming to the performance characteristics of a DC shunt motor, we need to measure the speed and we need to observe when we are loading the motor, how the torque is changing, how the speed is changing, and how the other parameters, like we are going to calculate the efficiency based on those parameters. So we are going to know the performance of all these for a given DC shunt motor. Now coming to the on which motor we are performing experiment. Those are comes under the title like nameplate details. In the laboratory we had a DC shunt motor whose values are the voltage rating is 220 volts and the current rating is 20 amperes and the output is 5 HP motor and the speed is 1500 RPM. Now I would like to explain about the circuit diagram of the DC shunt motor for brake test. Now let me explain the different points on the circuit diagram first. These two are the supply terminals and here it is the DPST switch, means double pole single throw switch, and these are the fuses, and this is an ammeter we have connected in the line to measure the current drawn from the supply, and that is 0 to 20 amperes MC. And there is a voltmeter we are connecting across the supply to measure the voltage of the particular DC shunt motor, and this is 0 to 300 volts MC. And it's known to us, in order to start the motor we need a 3-point starter, and it is having L, Z, Z can also be called as F also here, and A here. L means terminal coming from the line, and Z here, this terminal goes to the field resistance, and A means this terminal will go to armature. So in the field circuit we kept a rheostat whose value is 370 ohms by 1.7 amperes rating, and this is a field winding. The field winding is represented with the terminals like Z and double Z here, and this is a armature of the DC motor and it is represented with the terminals A and double A. And if you observe, it is mechanically coupled with the brake drum here, and over the brake drum you can observe S1 and S2. These are the spring balances of the brake drum. This can also be called as weights like W1 and W2. Now I would like to just introduce the different terminals of the particular circuit. Now I am going to explain you the procedure how we are going to conduct the experiment brake test on a given DC shunt motor. So first point is the connections are made as per the circuit diagram, and next the precaution is, first of all we need to keep the field rheostat resistance in minimum position. If you observe, this is already in minimum resistance position only. And next give the supply 220 volts DC supply to the circuit diagram. Close the DPST switch, and then by using the 3-point starter your motor is started. Start the 3-point by using 3-point starter, start the motor. The moment the DC motor starts rotating, it is coupled to the brake drum. We can measure the speed of the motor at the shaft of the brake drum here. Right, this is the first condition at which suppose under this condition S1 and S2 are 0, means there is no load on the brake drum here. That was the first condition. So coming to the tabular form, we are going to make a note of all the different values of the different loading conditions of the motor. Here just go through the tabular column here. This is a serial number and this is a IL line current and voltage here, supply voltage, and W1, W2. These W1, W2 can also be taken as S1 and S2, and these are the weights, the units for these are kgs. So I have written the units of each and every column here with red pen here. So the current is measured in amperes and the voltage in volts, and the weights, spring balances are measured in kgs here. And here the next column is the difference, the net weight can be calculated, the difference between W1 and W2 here. And we are going to measure the speed of the motor in RPM. And after that, these are the terms we are going to calculate based on the parameters what you have taken, measured from the while you are doing the experiment. So like, so T is the torque of the motor, which is the formula for this one is WRG, where W is the net weight or spring balance, and R is the radius of the brake drum, and G is the acceleration due to gravitational force. It is 9.81 taken constant, and for our motor here R value is 0.1 meters. And from based on that one we can calculate P output by 2 pi NT by 60 formula, which is the units are in watts. Similarly, the input can be calculated, the product of your VL into IL, and the units are watts. Once you obtain the P output and P input, you can calculate the percentage efficiency as P output by P input into 100. We will get the percentage output. So now I will tell you the procedural steps to conduct the experiment. First of all, keeping the field rheostat in the minimum position, give the supply, making use of the 3-point starter, start the motor starts rotating, and measure the speed of the motor. Suppose if the speed of the motor is less than 1500 RPM, then by adjusting this field rheostat, we will get the rated RPM of the motor here to 1500 RPM. Once you obtain the 1500 RPM of the speed of the motor, don't change this, don't touch this field rheostat throughout the experiment. And now, first reading we have to note down, where S1 is equal to 0, S2 equal to 0. I already told you W1 and W2 are same as S1 and S2. And for that one, we need to make a note of what is the current drawn here, which is given by this ammeter, and it is noted down here. And then whatever the voltage read by this voltmeter, we have to note down here. Now, and we need to measure the speed of the motor by using a digital tachometer at the shaft of the brake. So here now we obtain what is IL value, what is VL value, W1, W2, and now we can calculate difference of this, and finally we have noted down N value here. And like this we have to go step by step. As it is known to you, the rated current of this motor is 20 amperes. We can go up to 20 amperes, and similar readings will be noted down. And after completion of our experiment, we have to bring the load on the brake drum to the minimum position, and then bring the rheostat to the minimum position. Then switch off the DC supply to the motor circuit. Don't touch the 3-point starter. The moment you switch off the DC supply, the 3-point starter will come automatically to its initial position. This is the procedure for conducting the experiment. And after conducting the experiment, by making use of all these readings, we are going to calculate torque, P output, P input, and finally the efficiencies. And after getting this table completed, we are going to finally, what is our aim? Our aim of the experiment is to obtain the performance characteristics of the DC shunt motor. So coming to that one, now once we have calculated all these parameters, we are going to draw a model graphs here. Like on the x-axis we are taking the output, and the y-axis we are taking 4 parameters. Like one is the current, and second one is the torque, and the speed of the motor, and finally the efficiency. These values we are obtained from the tabular form after calculations. So if you observe, the torque is gradually increases as the output goes on increases, and this characteristic curve starts from the origin. And coming to the next characteristic curve, current variation with respect to the output. And if you observe on the graph, the current will start from the some value, not from the origin. This is because when there is no load on the brake drum here also, there will be minimum current that is drawn from the supply. So that is why there will be some minimum current here. That is why the graph starts from some value here. And coming to the speed, as the output goes on increases, means as we are loading the motor, gradually the speed decreases from its its rated value, that is nothing but 1500 RPM. This dotted line indicates the 1500 RPM. It is gradually decreasing as the output increases, and this is a characteristic curve for the speed here. And then this is the efficiency characteristic curve. As the output goes on increases, starting from the origin, it will reaches a maximum value, and further if you are increasing the output, the efficiency will decrease. That was the first graph. And coming to the next graph, these characteristics is drawn between torque versus speed. On x-axis we are considering torque, on y-axis we are taking the speed. So rated speed is 1500 RPM, which is mentioned with a dotted line, and as the torque increases, the speed gradually decreases. And these performance characteristics are obtained after performing the DC brake test on the DC motor. And coming to the applications of the DC shunt motor, these shunt motors are used in lathe machines, fans, blowers, spinning mills, weaving mills, conveyor belts, and so on. So with this, after completing the experiment, you have to draw these graphs on a graph sheet, and we need to submit it. Thank you. One and all. So in the morning session, we have seen the brake test on a DC shunt motor, the demonstration. Now we are going to see how we have to do the experiment practically. So first of all, I would like to introduce how I made the connections for this one and the terminals concerned to that one. So see, these are the fuses, and we had a DPST switch, and this is a plus and minus DC supply 220 volts we are giving. These are the terminals for the 3-point starter L, A and Z. So here L is coming from the, here from the place we have started to the ammeter, and it is connected in series with the ammeter and going to this one L point, and from A to armature it is connected to the armature, and armature second terminal is connected to the, here again coming back to the negative supply right here. And here if you observe the field is connected to the rheostat, fixed point, and from the variable point it is connected to the field winding Z, and it again ZZ is connected to the AA, and finally it is connected to the negative. So and we have connected a voltmeter across the supply to measure the voltage across the motor. This is a voltmeter, and we connected voltmeter across the supply, and we connected in series the ammeter. And if you observe, the potential divider is kept in the minimum resistance, the field rheostat is kept in the minimum resistance position. These are the spring balances S1 and S2, and this is known as brake drum, and this is your actual DC shunt motor. And we can observe the nameplate details on the shunt motor. We can measure speed from this point. Initially, both the spring balances are 0. Now, we are giving supply to the circuit. And you can observe the voltage from the voltmeter, 220 volts. And we can observe initially the current 0. Now we are starting the motor by using a 3-point starter. You can observe the motor is rotating, and now I am measuring the speed. Presently it is showing 1444 RPM. But now we are going to adjust the speed to rated RPM by adjusting the field rheostat. Now it is 1494. It is now 1500 RPM. Now we adjusted the speed of the motor to rated speed, that is 1500 RPM. This is the first steering we are taking down, where S1 equal to 0, S2 equal to 0, means there is no load on the brake drum of the shunt motor. At this condition we are making note the voltage, that is 220 volts, and current
1.5
1 ampere,
अच्छा 1 ampere हाँ
and the speed we adjusted into 1500 rpm, and S1 0, S2 0. Now we are going to the second reading. For that I am putting some load on the brake drum, gradually tightening the spring balances. While doing so, we have to pour water in the brake drum. So, and at this condition, we are making note the voltmeter and ammeter readings. Presently, the current is
220 near 220
that is voltage. So 220 volts, and the current is measured from the ammeter. It is 2 amperes,
2 ampere.
because we connected it to the scale 20 amperes. So the upper scale we need to check. So it is showing 2 amperes. So for 2 amperes we are measuring the speed. Now it is 1468 rpm, and I am going to measure the spring balances. S1 is 0 or something.
0.8
0.8, and S2 is 2. And now the second set of readings were completed. Now we are going to the third case. Still I am increasing load on the brake drum. I am increasing the load on the brake drum. Now again I am noting down the readings. The voltage is 220 volts only, and the current is, now it is reaching 3.8 amperes, and the corresponding speed is 1170.
1424
Corresponding speed is 1426 rpm, and S1 and S2 are
this one is 2.5 you can hold like 2.5
2.5. S2 is
it is a full value okay 7
7 kg. Now we are still increasing the load on the motor. Now IL is 5 amperes. 5 amperes. And we are measuring the speed. We are measuring the speed. It is 14 knots. 14.8 rpm.
4
S1 is 4 kgs. S2 is
10
10 kgs. In the similar way, we are loading further. Now it is 6 amperes IL value. And we are measuring the speed. It is 1396 RPM.
Five.
S1 is 5 kg. S2 is
12.
12 kg. We are still increasing the load on the motor. Now the load IL is 7 amperes and we are measuring speed now. It is 1382. S1 is 6 kg. S2 is
Take 15. 15.
15 kg. We are further increasing the load such that the IL is 8 amperes. IL is 8 amperes. The speed is
1348.
1348 RPM and the corresponding S1 is
Let me add a portion. Take it 8.
8 kg and S2 is
Yeah, madam, 18. Too much vibration.
18 kg. Now, we get load on the motor such that your IL value is 10 amperes and the corresponding readings we are noting down. It is 1346 RPM and the S1 and S2 values are
6. Again, 5 is decreasing. Okay, 6. This one is on with mine. Take it 7.
S1
20.
is 8 kgs and S2 is 20 kgs. Like this we have loaded the motor. We conducted brake test on the given DC shunt motor. Now I am going to explain you the procedure to switch off the circuit. Now we have to reduce the load on the motor gradually. Reduce the load on the motor gradually and bring the field rheostat to minimum position and now switch off the supply. Don't touch the 3-point starter.
You go automatically.
It will automatically draw back. Thank you.